Okay, welcome in, guys. 2023 CONCACAF Nations League semi-final. You see the game or you didn't see the game? If you didn't see the game, I'll bring you into the game. So taking it from the start, let's take a look at the starting lineups before we go anywhere. So there we go. There's the starting lineups. As we look at the starting lineups, in goal, Bojan, as we said it would be. The back three, because we came up with a 3-4-3, which shifted into a 4-4-2 and at times a 3-5-2 throughout the game. So we were playing different systems throughout to basically keep command of the game. But like I say, Bojan in goal, back three, Miller, Vitoria, and Johnson in midfield. Adekube, Kone, Estacio, Larrea. And I'm wondering why Larrea was in midfield. He did a decent job, but I think he looked a little bit like a fish out of water. Get him in the defensive role. I know you could say he played a wing-back role. I get it. But he didn't really do it for me. But again, he played a decent game. And up front, Buchanan, David, and Laurent. Man of the match is definitely Jonathan David, but not far in behind was Tajon Buchanan, who played another decent game. He is becoming a top player for Canada and adding some quality as well. Okay, let's get a look at the game. Let's talk about the game right now. First half kicks off. It was a really even affair for the first 20-25 minutes. Panama came in with a physical game, but, you know, they kind of looked very much equal to us as the game progressed through the first half. Canada came out of the gates just firing, charging, literally looking for the go-ahead goal. Nearly happened early on in, and Canada would make chances throughout this game. Have no doubt. We really put in a top performance today, but this needs to be slightly more disciplined in our own third come the big game on the weekend against either the USA or Mexico. Looks like it could be the USA for my money, but for my own little corazón, I'd like to see Mexico get into the final. Canada-Mexico would be my dream final. And on that thing, Canada now 23 years without a title. This could be the year. This could be the year that Canada picks up some silverware and really starts to show and cement that, no, we're not the kings of CONCACAF, but we're one of the top teams in CONCACAF. And beware, we're here to stay. World Cup's coming, and moving forward through the future, Canada has massive potential coming through in all ranks, the U18s, etc. Canada, looking forward, got a great future, and we're going to be around. And here's just a tidbit. FIFA, like to look at the big guys in each region and support each of the big guys. We are becoming one of the big guys. The game itself, though, battle of attrition. We owned the game completely, both halves. You could say Panama came into it in the second half, but during the first half, the only thing of note was an absolutely brilliant ball by Steven Estacio on 24 minutes. Literally threaded right through the Panamanian defence, not down the wing, but through the middle where I wanted it to be. Jonathan David makes a fantastic timed run. And Jonathan David, man of the match today, did exceptional throughout the game. But he times his run perfectly, meets the ball, taps, slides the ball under the goalkeeper. He actually puts it through the keeper's legs. How many times you see goalkeepers have goals scored between their legs? It's getting to the embarrassment stage. Goalkeeping coaches, where are you? Get your guy go down on the ball, body behind the ball, hand behind the ball, like they used to do. Anyway, we don't care. Canada's 1-0 up, 24 minutes in. Another brilliant goal by Jonathan David. That's 25 on the career for Canada, 4 assists in 40 games. He will be Canada's top scorer in the future. And when he's finished with his playing career, I doubt whether anybody is ever going to catch him. So at half-time, we're 1-0 up and looking really good. And you've got to say, we really did own the game, but you really thought second half Panama would come out. In the second half, they definitely would come out in the game and open things up. You got to say the game was just like the first half, nothing really dividing the teams, but Panama was getting into this. Panama was bringing some chances, and had they had a bit of fortune, they may well have tied up the game, but it wasn't to be because on 61 minutes, you got to say Johnny Herdman thinks to himself, you know, I think we need to add somebody. And who does he add? He adds that man, Davies, our superstar. Alphonso Davies. You know I sing my heart about Alphonso. He comes in on 61 and then he scores on 68. The goal he scored was an absolute rocket into the roof of the net. If you haven't seen it, you need to catch the highlights. But both goals were basically scored in the left quadrant of Panama's defence. You saw the ball going high over the top left quite a few times. That's obviously where we were targeting. That's obviously where we succeeded on the game. After the game, you got to say, we're moving to the final now to take on Mexico. But got to say, this performance, although a top performance, we need to bring the beginning of the game up slightly. The passing was a little sloppy, and I know you can say they haven't played for quite some time, and that's why I said we needed warm-up games. This game, in effect, against Panama was a warm-up game for the final. And if you planned it that way, Soccer Canada, you planned a piece of brilliance, because Panama pushed you all the way. They weren't giving up, and they came to play to win, not to lose. And that was a decent performance all around by Canada, even with 5 substitutes changing in the second half. At the end of the day, I have to say, we are going into the final possibly as an underdog, but not by much. If we go up against the USA at home against the USA, there's going to be thousands upon thousands of people in Allegiant Stadium, paradise, just cheering on the Americans. It's going to be an absolute home crowd should America get there. If Mexico gets there, nothing changes. It's another home crowd. So no matter what happens, Canada plays in the final on the weekend as a road team, really on the road against all the noise, against all the fans. And you have to say, the fans down there in Allegiant Stadium, representing the Canadian theme, did a fantastic job. Proud of every one of you, men, women, and children. And great colours, great flags, great shirts. Keep it there. And basically, that was a long way to go for a game. But on the day, Canada wins 2-0, a deserved victory, a comprehensive performance, and moving to the final, we have a chance to pick up silverware. But that performance needs to be a tad bit better than today. On the day, it's 2-0 to Canada. It's a fantastic win over Panama. We're taking on America or USA in the final. Get ready. It's going to be a barn burner. Cheers.